Hello there and welcome back to Building the Boys. We now have issue 84 of Hachette's Build the Disney Doll's House. Now in this one, again there's a lot. So, wow, we are looking at doing the side of Peter Pan's room to sort of finish off the main structure of that. Now there is a tower that's going to go on top of it. We'll be building that in the next 4. We're moving on to Donald's room, doing the wainscot in Donald's room. We're laying the floor in Donald's room. Then we're papering the wall for Donald's room and Beauty and the Beast's room. We're not installing this wall though. Then we're papering the back wall for Donald's room. But again, we're not installing it. So we'll have 2 fully papered walls by the end of this one, but we're not installing them. And we will have Peter Pan's room pretty much complete for the structure of it, and also the wainscoting for Donald's room. That's what we've got to do in this one. We do have some pretty pieces we'll take a look at first, and then we will we'll crack on with the build. It can be a little bit complicated, this one, by the looks of things, so just take your time with it. And again, I've seen people complain over the plastic. You're not going to see plastic. Don't worry about it. You're not going to see... Keep the faith. Trust me. It's going to be worth it. Let's get this one open. Let's get building. To begin with, a quick look at our pretties. Now, we've got these 2 lovely potion bottles for Alice's room. We have this cake stand, which got a beautiful key going through it. And then look at these. So we got these little white rabbit cupcakes. How gorgeous are those? I think that's beautiful. Alice's room is going to look amazing. When it's done, I think Alice's room is going to be potentially one of the best rooms in the house, because it's just going to look incredible. It really is, with all the little detail in there. The Tweedledee, the Tweedledum bottles and everything else. It's going to look amazing. But lovely. We're going to put these away. We're going to bring the house up. We're going to do the bits that we need to do first. It's a bit of a strange one to explain, but before we do it, we're going to glue these 2 tabs here. Now, they will be going into these feet here and here. And you're going to put some glue along these tabs here as well. Now, when you fit this, it's not as simple as just throwing it in. You've got to get behind. You see here? You need to get behind that section. Find your tabs. Squeeze it in. And then there you go. So that's what's going to happen. But this is going to take a little bit of wiggle and adjust and hold. And then once you've got it exactly how you want it, you're going to take this one off so it holds nicely. So I'm going to get that glued in place now. That one's in. No, I'm not going to lie to you. That is bloody tricky. Once you kind of find the sweet spot, you're all right. Don't worry about gap or anything about it, because there's another piece going in that's going to block all that out. But that's how we're looking. We're looking all right. I'm not happy with the gap over there, so I'm going to have a tweak and tighten that down with some masking tape glue more in place. We're moving on to the wainscoting now for Donald's room. I'm going to apply some glue to this tab here, along here, along here. And what's going to happen, so I can show you here, it's going to sit in here. So the long strip's going to sit in there, the little tab's going to go in there, and then that's all we're going to do, just glue that one in place. The wainscoting's installed. Now, don't do what I did and see there's a gap underneath here and start getting all frustrated and think, God, I must have done this wrong, because what we're actually going to do is we're going to fit the floor in, and the flooring fits into the gap. See, it's clever. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a nice layer of glue on the bottom of this one, and then glue our floor in place under that gap in the wainscoting. I was getting really frustrated, and then I thought, maybe I should read ahead. Let's get this done. This is the wall we're working on next. Now, this is the side we want for Donald's side, so you need to make sure your door is that far over. These pins here to the left, that's for Donald's side. Now we've got this massive piece of wallpaper that seems overly too big for this. That's going to go on here like so, and then we're going to trim it down. Now, it is saying, okay, so that's how we're going to do it. We're going to get this piece here right to this corner. So that's our guide point there. As long as that one hits that corner, we know we've put this on correctly. So we're going to peel this off, get this applied, and then we're going to trim it down. Okay, so we've got that one lined up. And now here we go. We're just going to commit and go. So we're going to follow the line, make sure we're sticking to our line here. Happy, happy, happy so far. Straight over. So happy, and down. There we go. So let's make sure the creases or folds in there. Just going to grab my microfiber cloth and give this one a proper buff down. There we are. So now what we're going to do, flip it over. And we've got to trim all of this out, so let's get trimming. Okay, so let's trim this excess out. Take the door out first. Straight down. Same again, straight down. And over. Back across. It should. There we go. This is our door, right? Now I'm going to try and follow this groove round. There we go. It's off nice and easy. Now this one's going to be a little trickier, but it'll be all right. So we're going to trim in between. Yeah, don't freak out about plastic, okay? It's not worth it. It's not worth getting excited about. You have to wait until you see the finished thing. And the finished thing is not going to show any of that white plastic. You're not going to see it. You're going to see... You're just not. And again, you can't make these shapes out of wood, unfortunately. So that's just the way it is. So it's I hate to be the one to say it, but it's very much a come to peace with it. There we go. Take that one off there. And there should be a little hole there as well, so we need to cut through. There we go, so that's that one out. And then we need to expose these pieces, so we don't want this paper over the top of them. So these will come off. There we go. Get those out. That's about it. Right. So we're going to flip this one over and we're going to put the Beauty and the Beast paper on. Okay, now similar to what we just did, we're going to line up our rather lovely Beauty and the Beast paper. The difference is this goes right to the bottom, this one, whereas the Donald one doesn't. We're going to get right over to that tab there. No, we're not. We're going to go over to there. That's where we're going to go. So you're going to leave this much exposed. And we're going to go all the way across and trim this one out. So let's get this prepped. Okay, let's get this one lined up and prepped and ready. I'm very nervous we used to be when we used to do these. Now I'm quite, I won't go as far as say ham-fisted, but I'm quite, let's just get it done. There we go. Right, let's smooth this one down. And same again, we're going to flip this one over and we're going to trim it out. Let's start with the door. Straight down and straight down. There we go. That's our door panel out. If they're good, save them. That's what I'm doing. You never know. As I said, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I save any sort of decent size offcuts. This is a good offcut here. So there you go. That's a decent offcut. We're keeping that. Because again, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You know what I mean? Right. Let's trim this little piece off here and along that there. Okay, now we're into this side. This takes forever, so I'm just going to get that done. And there we go. So we've got our first Beauty and the Beast wall. Our Donald wall on the other side. Now we're not using this until next issue, so that one goes away. And then we are working on this section here. Just grab this. Working on this piece here next. So we're going to flip this one over. We've got some Donald paper to go on. Now, this Donald paper, you'll see, has got 2 strips. It's going to ask us to cut those strips off. But don't throw those strips away. You need to hold on to these strips. So these strips here, you got to keep them. It's weird, but you got to keep them. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to trim these out and we'll take a look. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the 2 strips trimmed from the side. Now you've got to keep those. We are going to use them. So keep them safe. Don't go, losing them or misplacing them. What's going to happen with this one is we are going to go here. So that is where we're going to end up. We're going to put this one on this wall here. It's going right up to the top. So most of the windows covered, but not all of it. So let's get that prepped and done. Okay, so we've got this one started. What we're going to do is start laying this over. And we're just going to go. There we are. Let's smooth it down. Got a cloth again. This is a good kind of, don't worry, this is bendy, so you're okay with this one. Let's get this a good smoothing. Okay, now we're going to flip this one over. And we'll take that section out. So hopefully, there shouldn't be too, I'll say that. I'm not happy with the way this is trimming. Oof. I'm not happy with that at all. It's okay though. As I said, a big window is going to go in here, so it will mask a magnitude of sins. So don't worry about how smooth your paper is around these windows. Because as I said, a bloody great big ornate window, huge ornate window is going in here. So you don't have to worry too much about the edges. Well, so we don't want it pug ugly. You gonna come? There we go. Right. So that's that section out. And then, whoop. Pull that one out. And this is what we are then left with. So we've got window there. I'm perfectly happy with that. As I said, big ornate windows going in here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, is all we have to do in this issue. So there's nothing else to add to the house in this issue. But in the next one, we will be adding this one and the other wall. And we will be pretty much completing the upper structure of the house. Let's have a chat. That one done nice and easy. I mean, I'd say nice and easy. The putting the side piece on is a bit of a bitch. I mean, if you're having trouble with that, it will click. All of a sudden, click, and it's in. And that's kind of what happened with me, where I'm thinking, that ain't right. And like, I couldn't see the feet going in properly. I'm thinking, this ain't right. Then all of a sudden, click, and it's in. And you're like, there it is. And it all just sinks into place perfectly. And it's held lovely now. So yeah, very, very happy with that. So again, I know you complain about these, like this white plastic, and then all the tiles are cardboard, and the tiles aren't quite cardboard. Let's not go mental. Don't worry about this. Honestly, do not worry about this. You're not going to see this. You're going to have a very lovely ornate roof for your house. I promise you. It's just the nature of this beast, so it's going to look a little ugly. For the immediate, for all the next 6 months, it's going to look a bit ugly. It just is. But trust me, it's going to come to life. When you start putting that tiling on, that tiling's going to be a pain in the ass. Honestly, doing that for the amount of months we've got to do it is going to be bloody annoying. It's going to be a, let's just get it done. But will totally be worth it when it is done. So it is laborious. It is a chore putting all that tiling on. It's just going to be, but it is going to look great when it's done. And we've only got to do it once, right? So it's not like we've got to do this again. So just enjoy it if you can. I know you'll see what I mean. When we get to that stage, you're like, ugh, more of this. And that is, unfortunately, that is how our world ends. It doesn't end with a bang. It ends with a whimper. So the very last thing you do on this house, the very last thing, is a piece of that tiling. Tiny little slither, you go, and that's it. You want this kind of big, but it doesn't happen. It's a tiny little piece of, that's it, and I'm done. That's how the house finishes, believe it or not. That's all for this one. We'll be back very soon with issue 85. Where, as I said, we'll be adding more walls, more structure to the upper floor. Donald's room will be pretty much done at that point. We've still got to do the ceiling to this. That's not coming for a while. So the actual ceiling, the roof of the house, isn't coming for a while. But we have the turret coming up as well soon. So lots of fun stuff. If you need any help, any assistance, if you want to send a picture of your work, if you've made a modification of something you'd like to show us, if you want to show off, if you want to have a chat, you can email me at buildwiththeboys@outlook.com. I will get back to you, I promise you. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. And if you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. Your help is very much appreciated. And we love having you along for the journey. That's all from me. Again, once more, feeling in a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. I really do mean that. And I will see you very, very soon for issue 85 of Hachette's Build the Disney Doll's House. Thanks for stopping by. I will see you then.